Alrighty, welcome everyone. I am Teeaboo, and it is tomorrow today. Yesterday was yesterday, and today is tomorrow. However, I am not going to watch tomorrow's Joe today because I am called to watch the next episode of what we watched yesterday, which we are going to be watching today, which is tomorrow from yesterday, which screws up my whole schedule, but I don't really care. The truth is that I woke up this morning and I felt called to watch the next episode of Heavenly Delusion. I'm still in the headspace, and there are so many intricacies of the thought patterns and processes and little bits of propaganda and ideas and mysteries that are all in play. And I just think that I'm going to lose a lot if I try to keep that on the back burner and sort of store it away over the course of the week. I think it's going to influence everything else that I try to watch. I wasn't able to get my head out of that mindset and into the mindset of Ashita Joe today, which is, again, what I'm supposed to be watching. Forgive me, Joe fans, for taking the day to watch this instead of Joe. It will shake out so that I end up watching Joe at some point as well, okay? So everything will end up getting watched, just maybe a little bit late, maybe not quite on time, and I'm not sure what I'm going to post on YouTube today, but I really need to watch this today. It's what has called to me. We are in the midst of a big cliffhanged mystery, and we kind of are on Ashita Joe as well, but I've already compartmentalized that one, so I'm happy keeping it in its compartment until I need to take it out and really grapple with Joe, but I can't do that until I've really grappled with Heavenly Delusion. I woke up this morning, took a shower, listened to Infest the Rat's Nest, the album by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Yes, that's a band. And with all the screaming of There Is No Planet B and Superbug and all of these wonderful songs, I couldn't help but stay in the mindset of Heavenly Delusion. I want to understand this immortal order as it is known by the outside, but not from within. I want to understand I forget his name, Dr. Usada, Dr. Uradal. I don't know what his name is, but I'm really intrigued by him, by his organization, and most notably, perhaps, by the group that are rallying and protesting against them. We talked a lot yesterday about the power of acting weak, of choosing an enemy that has power and uniting around them, while denying the power that you generate from doing so. I'm not sure if that's where we're going with this, but I'm suspicious. I'm very suspicious of the information that we have been presented and the ways in which the presentation of that information leads us by the nose a little bit in particular directions to act in ways and empower groups that maybe we don't actually agree with, and maybe we really desperately need to get to the bottom of the situation. And then last night, when I was thinking about this all, I had an idea. And it's an idea that I don't want to get stuck on, but it's an idea that kind of changes everything. Information that's presented to you changes your behavior, right? You're going to respond to the world that you see in as pragmatic a way as you are organized to do? But if somebody has control over what information comes to you, they have, in some ways, control over you. Yeah. I think about this a lot in the context of our increasingly digitized future and the simultaneous pressures of like information control and individual isolation. I am struck by the impression that millions of young humans sitting in their rooms alone all night, every night, with their primary window into the outside world not being their shuttered window to the sunlight outside, but instead the screens in front of them, usually the ones that are about this size, right? Millions more of those. And with some exceptions, we still live in a world where information flow is accessible, and there are ways to access it that can't be very easily blocked and restricted super effectively. But outside of those, a lot of the information that is flowing into you is blocked and restricted very effectively. And that creates, well, if it's your only window to the outside world, that changes your behavior in ways that are effectively deterministic or determined by the people who control what information comes to you. Yeah? Like, if your only insight into what's going on in the outside world is nobody can be trusted and everybody's killing each other, you're going to start acting and moving through the world with very different energy than you did before. And it might cause you to engage in behaviors that you never would have if you had actually never gotten that information from the outside and just used your own perspective. When I go out into the world and like ride around, talk to people, the world is bright and shining, the sun shines, the air is clear, things are feeling pretty good. But you can go down a rabbit hole online that makes you think that literally everybody in this world is out to get each other and hate each other and kill each other and destroy. Yeah? So I'm worried about a future that seems to be barreling in that direction, where we offload the critical thinking part and the research part and the observation of reality part all to artificial systems that just give us a perfect, to our perspective, crystal clear view of the world and negate or pretend that there is no lens there. And that's very much like the kind of propagandistic pushing that we get from groups like this one, but without the weight and the effectiveness of true information control. What kinds of things can you get people to do if you actually truly control all the information going to them? You can get them to commit genocide. We saw that in Facebook caused a couple of genocides just a few years ago. In Myanmar, there was a systematic and coordinated attempt to spread material that instilled fear and hatred of a minority group in Myanmar, and the result was mass murder. That's a number of years ago. These systems were not as powerful or as good at giving us false information or just manipulated information, just propaganda. They've gotten a lot better. They've gotten a lot more restricted. The window is closing a little bit. And it makes me think, what could you do if everything that you perceived was different from reality? And the thought that I really had to do with the scene where Kiruko gets hypnotized by the Hiruko. Because she starts flailing around and firing her gun everywhere. And that's a pretty close analogy, to my mind, to what happens when confusion sets in and all you see are enemies. But I want to take it a step further. And say that I genuinely hope that this is not the case, because I think it weakens the story fairly significantly if it is. What if, in some way, everything that we're doing is a hallucination? Yeah? We've come face to face with Hirukos before. If they can just do this to you, then can they at any point take over your entire worldview and set you into a Matrix reality where you're just running around fighting monsters in dilapidated buildings and shit, and it's not really happening and you're actually twitching on the floor? I think that would be a weak ending to reveal that it's all been a dream. But the fact that they have this power opens the door to a whole bunch of perception-altering garbage bullshit that could be terrible and nuke the story, or could be used in really intriguing, fascinating, and interesting ways in order to demonstrate that some of the characters in this world have been manipulated in ways that they cannot perceive. They see through a lens, perhaps, that is not actually the way that things are. Like, what if all the people in the facility are hypnotized to think that the kids look like human kids, but they actually look like... I don't know. That seems stupid. It seems dumb and weird, but it seems like because we've introduced this tech, this like hypnotize the people tech, that it could go that direction, that it could go into dream state spaces and really mess with our fundamental understanding of the show that we're currently watching and what it actually consists of. I wonder. I wonder. We are definitely in the type of story where it is possible to rug pull like that in an actually really compelling and interesting way. And it's also totally possible for that it's one, not the case, or two, that you'd fuck it up really badly and it would nuke the whole story. But I wanted to throw it out there since I had the idea. I haven't been able to shake it exactly. I haven't had it for that long, just since yesterday, but I haven't really been able to shake the idea that there might be something going on with Hiruko hypnotization on a broader narrative scale. Because I wasn't really thinking about it as a core element of our stories, that people can be changed by looking into the face of that thing. I don't know. I think we're gonna leave this drawing up for today. And so before I opened the video and stuff and started recording, I did a couple of like drawing what do you call these? Not lessons. Exercises. Drawing exercises. These are a couple of drawing exercises from Drawbox, which is a free online drawing set of drawing courses, and I've been slacking on actually doing these consistently, so I thought I probably should do those, given that I wanted to keep the previous drawing up for today but still draw something. So that's what I drew. There's my evidence of it. Let's turn our attention to watching episode 8 of Heavenly Delusion, titled Their Choices. The thing that this makes me think most clearly of is the moment where we were thinking of our responses to the organization that's organized against the the Immortal Order. Confusing. And they were like, "Oh, you're thinking, why not let them just do what they want to do? Because it's their choice, you know?" That's where I think the closest to direct link is. But it's such a broad title that it could be our choices as we come in here. It could be the choices of the people who have been changed, you know? It could be the choices of the people who still are a part of the Immortal Order. And it could be a part of the choices of the people that we were just talking to who hate the Immortal Order. Everybody's made choices. Whose choices are we going to focus on? And were those choices manipulated by glowing goop faces? You know, is your voice your own voice? Are your choices your own choices? Or have you just been manipulated by the glowing light? Have you just seen the glow and followed? I don't know. Let's watch episode 8 and maybe we'll find out. And maybe we'll just get barreled down deeper into the weirdness of the mystery. Thanks for joining me. Forgive me again, Ashton no Joe, folks. I will get to Joe. We will be watching Joe very soon. I gotta watch Heavenly Delusion today, though. I've got episode 8 up and ready to go. 2 versions, PiP in the description, timer on the YouTube, beep beep timer. Let's go. No. No. With only our eyes to guide us. Now I'm thinking about it. If it's out of our hands. Can I just say, we had a few really great OPs over the last couple of months, and a couple of them have, like, lost their spice to me a little bit. It's like, okay, they're just the OP now. This one has not. This one stays really compelling. Okay, we've got ravens or crows. Alright, rocks are flat. Shit, right on the head. Is she dead? Leave you, man! That's really funny. Omatsuri. I'm just pulling. Okay. It's almost like it's for... Oh, he's missing an arm. Are they all missing things? Abuse of power. It's okay for us to attack you because we don't have power. Right? She really hurt. Time to attack. Holy shit, she straight up died from getting clonked on the head. And now we must go on. But now he's the leader. Weapon? Okay, we're going to war. That makes sense. Okay, we got people living. We're surviving. Makeshift beds. This is running like a hospital. Oh, that's a full prosthetic. These have been made. They're doing their best. We don't have enough. Yeah. Usami. There's only so much he can do. Yeah. It never ends. He still stops, though. Whoa. He saw? Okay, now we get to find out some answers. This is the place. But what's the truth? It is true. Right? Wow. This person's been attacked by a Hiriko. I think. Yeah, the eye. It won't work. She'll turn into? That's new. That's new. A little different. Does this disease involve black spots? Ha. Ha. More of her body, more of her body. Oh my god, it is. Around the eye. Around the eye. It's the same. So he wants her dead so that she doesn't become. She can die as a human. Yeah, he can touch humans and find their hearts, right? This is why you can feel them the same way, isn't it? This is weird. So, does that mean that all those people who've been amputated had the disease? Oh, we're diving. Fatal dive. There's her, like, gem core. with compassion. He's never done it to a human. But oh, oh, Hoshio, I want to die. Oh, I want to see the sky. Yeah, I think we can make that happen. She'll die. Can we take the machines? Can we load up a cart? Good boundary. What? This is so crazy. I have to remember to talk about something about medical patients going outside and making absurd recoveries. We have to talk about that at the end because it's like it's a crazy thing. Because it's like this exact scenario, but it plays out very differently. Whoa, the reflection that comes up when he that's powerful. His mask drops. Baka. Ah. Crows. Is that the... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. He was your trader, bro. They don't give a fuck. Deserved! Justice! We're all in. Everybody's all in now. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, kiddo. We might need a Hiruko. That's fucked up, isn't it? What are we supposed to do against a war? What? He only cares about this. It's time. Fatal! You gotta yell it. It doesn't work if you don't yell it. I love that every time we visualize this, it's pretty distinct. Soul Stone. Is she his daughter? I wonder. Fuck. It's the first time we've done that to a human. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. His reflection in this. Just like in the TV screen. What? What? Is she still typing? Fucking show me. Does it just say thank you? Oh. Oh, it's his eye. Oh, she wouldn't have been able to see. It's his eye? Oh, baby. Fuck. Fuck. God, the music swells like crazy, too. That's pretty excellent. Sky above. And in the sky, from the sky comes... Hey, that's Naruto! Hoshio-san. They were all making choices to protect her. It is the black spots, too. The guards. It's our fault. We did what we could with the information we had. Come on. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. I wonder if she's his daughter. It's kind of powerful that we don't get to know. I'm no doctor. Whoa. Fucker. Fucking dickhead. Cast off the white. Now they're crows. There's still one of them in there! Hey, buddy! I'm glad you're alive, honestly. That's good. Shit. Fuck. That's a lot of people, yeah, yeah. Okay, he hasn't been through here. Oh. Huh? Inazaki Robin. Sensei? What? Did he now? He did? He had surgical knowledge? Wasn't gonna let anyone else die. Thinking about them? It is Robin. Where did he get surgical knowledge? Or have he and Dr. Usami been swapped? Yeah, daydreaming about that boy. Not this boy. Oh yeah, if he was studying under him. Oh. It's a button with the thing on it, isn't it? The bird. The crow? Yeah. No, don't shoot yourself, my guy. Don't do it. I know that she was your reason. I know that she was your reason, that you'd give everything for her. Fuck, man, we're gonna do gunshot birds? Fuck you! Fuck you! Birds. I don't like gunshot birds. He would have been really useful. Are we gonna find that he didn't? Ah, shit, man. Fuck! We get a different version of this? Fuck. Oh, you saved her. Oh. You're saving people. That's the idea. Unless we're wrong about everything. Answers! Our answers killed themselves! There's an after thing, too. Are we gonna cut to the inside of the place? Fuck. Now they're just cheering, having gotten their electricity? You fucks! You lying fucks. All these prostheses that won't be maintainable? Okay, what the fuck? That was beautiful candle going out, but... Where are we? Where are you? Is this a dream? The darkness is coming. Oh, but you're not alone. Is that drawing boy? It's a big hand. Oh, shit. What the fuck? A heavenly delusion? Fuck. Well, what am I supposed to take from that? Not knowing whose hand she grabs in the dream, it's like, I don't know. In a dark place, someone reaches out and grabs her hand. I don't know. Oh, this is a somber episode. And I think it does a really good job at nailing somber. I'm glad that I have the space, the day between, to get enough space from the last one where it's still close in my mind, but where I'm not locked into the tone of it, because the tone of this one is very careful and it's very different. We start with crows and we end with crows. It's a good setup. It really is. The battle begins with a single stone. I really like how he gets overwhelmed a little bit, then gets up this little blush and this little fever pitch. Yip yip pow. One stone through, we throw one back. It doesn't even hit her, but she topples from on top and lands straight on her head. It's comical. It's so silly. You're like this cult leader on high and you get brought down by a rock that doesn't even actually hit you. It's so silly. But she straight up dies. Or maybe they kill her. I'm not sure. And paves the way for a strong leader to step up. Someone with ideals. Someone who really deserves the job. Fuck. She serves as the perfect martyr in his pocket. What a cool setup and what a cool, demonstration of social organization. It feels like the kind of story that, even though this is fiction, this story exactly, in so many ways, has played out many, many, many times across many, many, many groups, where you get a spiritual or ideal leader who guides us a particular direction and then falls off in some way, whether they die or whatever, and paves the way for somebody really power hungry to see this power that they've gathered as an opportunity, not as well, we had questions even for her. Is she a true ideologue or is there a intentional power gathering here? And it seems like she is a true ideologue who genuinely just believes this, like she was actually harmed by them. She actually got amputated and doesn't believe their reasons for it. But she has tilled the soil and built up a fertile a fertile place for his ideas to settle. And I imagine that those ideas are going to come back around and we're going to end up coming face to face with those people, that they're going to gather some real power. Because Usami and Squad, they had technology access, but no desire for power, right? And now we have a team that have hidden their desire for power under the idealistic sort of shell and now get to shed that and come out into the light as monsters. Like, ha ha ha, this is what we were actually doing here. Oh man, not like they have any real beliefs anyway, is a really poignant line that is going to come through later. Something odd. It's almost like it's for something else. They might make some kind of demand with that rock as an excuse. They probably see it as freedom of speech when they do it and assault when we do it. This is what engaging in that power differential really does for you, you know? You say that like, oh, we're so weak that what we do could never affect you. And that's why it doesn't matter if we protest this way. It doesn't matter if we engage in violence. It doesn't matter if we cross thresholds and cross lines, because we're never going to have a real impact. It's too systemic, man. It's too big. It's too powerful. You've got all the power on your side. And that justifies our in isolation, really bad actions. Yeah. You see this discourse a lot in modernity, and the crazy part is there's a lot of it that I kind of agree with, right? Like, the billionaires have all the power. What we do against them could not do anything against them, so do what you can. That kind of makes a lot of sense. But if it leads to, like, breaking windows and receiving retaliation that drives us all out of our homes and kills everybody, maybe that's not the way to go. Maybe. I don't know. So they're all the three most trusted, yeah? The monsters in the base. Oh shit. She's moving. We can't miss this opportunity. He comes out and says she's dead. She wasn't dead. They didn't have to kill her at all. He just left her and lied. Oh shit. So everybody drops to their knees and is weeping. They care so much. And he's going to collect that. Gonna collect that and use it. Fucking great. And yet, she still had the power, the will to stand up. We must avenge her. Get your weapons. Uh-oh. And on this side, they're revealed to be exactly who they really are. And then on this side, we get the reveal of exactly who these people really are. What is Usami actually doing? I said something in the last episode that I was getting this vibe from him that's like, this is a man with a single purpose mind, laser focused, and not enough resources to get by, who is at the end of his rope because he doesn't have any other options, doesn't have any, like, respite, no rest, no recourse. And it seems that that was right on, which I don't want to take that as like, yeah, good job me for figuring that out. No. The praise here goes to the show. The praise here goes to the show because it conveyed in like 30 seconds of Dr. Usami being on screen at the very end of the last episode. It conveyed very effectively that all the bullshit that we heard about him was bullshit. And that something else is going on here, that this is a more complicated situation, and that guy's actions and mannerisms speak to that complication. So we get through and we find out that the thing that I inferred, right, was almost exactly what is intended. And that means that in the subtext, in the shot composition, in the way that he walks up, in the way that his voice actor has been chosen and instructed to speak during his lines, in the shots that we have around him, in the lighting on him, every element of him is set up to give us a different impression than the one that we're expecting. That's really cool. It speaks to Science Saru's capacity to convey. And their capacity to convey under the surface, to really master the most critical and magical thing that anime can do, which is show you a bunch of disconnected scenes that have almost nothing to do with the core thing that we're dealing with, and have them change your opinion of the core thing that we're dealing with. right? Of slipping things in the subtext, in the tone of the music in the background, in the voice acting, in the shot composition, that gives your subconscious an understanding that's different from the conscious understanding that you're operating with. And then convey in a way that smashes those together and lets you emerge with the right idea. It's magic. It's magic. I think that this is an example of magic. This is a cool magic trick that's been played on us, where the magic trick is that we've been given all these impressions, and the magic trick is being played at the exact same time on Maru and Kiruko, right? They're being tricked by this as well. It's why they go in and they kill the monsters, right? But it has to happen to us too. We're not in the loop while they're out of the loop, which is another context that can be done in the show. It's like, ooh, the characters don't know that this is all a lie and they're walking into traps. The characters don't know, and we don't know, but we know. But we know, somewhere deep inside, we know that something's wrong. Something's not quite right. It's not quite right. And Maru knew too. He knew in his, like, internals, but he couldn't figure it out. He couldn't trust it. He didn't, like, know. And so he acted based on the information that he had. Couldn't really trust his gut because he didn't have the information around it. And this is the result. And now at the end of this episode, the result is terrible. Like, really bad. And he blames himself for a lot of it. Because we were taken in. We got scammed. We got scammed into using our power for somebody else's purpose. That sucks. Sensei. He makes prosthetics. I really like this interaction. I think this is an example of subtext. You can ask someone to spray it with oil or silicone spray. Just this one place is enough. Okay. What I take from this is, first off, he stops. Almost like he can't help it, right? This is who he is. When he stops, he doesn't do it himself, right? He doesn't have time. He gives distinct, clear instructions for what to be done. And then he says, just this one place is enough. Why? Because they have limited access to oil and silicone spray, right? None of that is, like, directly told to us, but all of it is very crystal clear to me and very much intentional, I think. And all of it speaks to Dr. Usami's character, who he is. So this scene, like, is just a moment. It's just an action that happens, and it teaches us everything we need to know about Dr. Usami. She can't figure out how to control her hand. Can't you do anything? And there's a little more exasperation in his voice, right? Practice. It's just practice. Dr. Usami, let's go. Wait, but what about... It doesn't end. Okay, we start setting up this outdoor space with the red beam things up above. I don't know what space this would be recognizable as to somebody. Like, I don't know what it is. But we start establishing it. We establish the location, the sky, the distances. The whole space is all set up so that when we eventually are looking up into it or up across it, it's coherent. It's part of the same place. And there's a language to the shots of the sky, the shots of building portions intruding in it, and the angles and sort of compositions that they create. It's not a language that I could turn into words, but it's a language that you feel as you're watching it. They create different impressions on your mind, different feelings. Sometimes it's like a little claustrophobic, a little trapped in, but sometimes when it's mostly sky, it's like contrast and the lines draw you into the space and stuff. It's just cool. It's good to look at all the way through. I want you to try doing it again. So we enter into the forbidden place where we've been told monstrous things are happening, and we find out that what's happening is monstrous, but not caused by us. What we're doing here is trying to hold the monsters at bay. Here's the curtain. Here's the shock. It's difficult to look at. Is this what you're doing? Is this how you treat your patients? We look at what we're doing, and it's like bloody bandages and all these tubes, and it's all to keep her alive. Maru looks and he sees the eye. If you wanted her dead, why not just turn off the machines? Because that makes it worse. she'll turn into a monster like the ones in the basement. Okay, that's new information. Except that the innkeeper told us that that's what happens. I think she was wrong about precisely how it happens, but she was right in some way. She'll turn into a monster like the ones in the basement. Okay, so does our injectable goo cure Hiroko, fuck, what do we call it? Cure Hiroko spots? Hiroko pox. I don't know. Are all the Hiroko that we've met formerly people? Is it a superbug? Fuck me, I listened to that King Gizzard and the Wizard album this morning, and Superbug was Superbug! Huh. Oh. Wait, she'll turn into one? Are they human? Is that why Maru can do what he can do with them? And with humans? Oh. They're not exactly the same. They used to be human that died from a disease that turns them into monsters. She developed the disease. We developed the facilities to slow the progression, to amputate. But even then, it's incurable. It will return, and we'll need to amputate again. Machines to compensate. I've been doing all of this for a long time, and so has she. But there's only so much that can be done. So he hopes that she might be able to die as human, to not become one of them. It's got some zombification elements, yeah? Okay, sorry, let me back up. There are a bunch of classic horror story type situations that have big social implications. I think we talked about this in episode 1 about big end of the world scenarios often have a big a core fear underneath. Zombies are one of those. They're like a mass population fear, you know? Vampires are one of those. They're often like a fear of the ultra rich. But also they're like an energetic and interpersonal fear, a fear of like loss of boundaries, a fear of people who take. Here it's a kind of a combo. You become a monster. You might be able to die as a human, but you become a monster. It's a virus. It's a bug, right? It's a disease. It's potentially contagious, right? It can spread. It's disgusting. It turns you into a monster that kills other people, that hurts them and makes them be that way too, right? Something like that. Ooh. It's spooky. Spooky but meaningful. You're our only hope. But we also just told Maru that all the Hiroko he's killed used to be human. You know? And if he does have a cure situation, could he cure them instead of killing them? I don't know. Neither does he. I really like the visuals of the Fatal Dive. They speak to a spiritual importance of this core element and of what Maru is doing. He comes into their body, into their internal space, and comes into communion with them. But it's not as ham-fisted as though he grasps the orb and suddenly he sees all their memories and vibes with them really well or anything like that. Nothing like that. But is this what she wants? I want to see the sky one last time. Can we take her outside? We can't disconnect the machines. Okay, I gotta find this. Okay, there are a few stories, and I can't find super strong evidence for them. So treat them as anecdotal, at least for the present, unless you find great evidence for them, which would be great. The one that I'm thinking of is the story of a 15-year-old boy who had an invasive lung fungus, an invasive fungus in his lungs as a complication of something else that was going on, literally eating his lungs, and he asked to be taken outside, at a couple days away from dying. The doctors gave the boy 2 days to live. He requested to go outside. They got his ventilator and all his machinery and took him outside. He spent about 5 hours in the sun, and over the course of 5 days, he was off of a ventilator and discharged. Uh, and there are a bunch of inferences as to how this could have happened. People talking about near infrared light and the penetration, the potential like antibiotic or antifungal effects of the light coming in, all sorts of things. Fucking interesting to me. I can't find like a huge swath of non-anecdotal evidence that points in this direction, but it is definitely the case that outside of UVA and damaging, irradiative, carcinogenic light, which actually breaks down your genome and causes cancer, bad, wear sunscreen. Outside of that, the warmth of sunlight and the vitamin D development and all sorts of things that we don't know the mechanisms for make being in the sun help you be really healthy and can actually really improve your chances if you've got certain diseases and stuff. Not like it's a cure-all, not like if you get a disease, don't go to the doctor and go outside and sit in the sun. Go to the fucking doctor, but also get some sunlight. Don't lock yourself away. Breathe some fresh air. Go walking outside or riding a bike or get wheeled around in a wheelchair, like whatever you got available, or go lay in the sun. And I understand that last time I talked about going outside, people were like, it's negative 20 degrees out here. I live in Finland. I'm not going to do that. That sucks, dude. There are light panels that they make that don't produce the damaging irradiative UV lights, but do produce the rest of the spectra that sunlight produces. And they're also like red light panels and near infrared panels and stuff. I think this is a really interesting area of science, and I think that there's a lot of opportunity there's a lot of opportunity for bullshit grifting. Let's get that out of the way first. And people selling you like multi-$1,000 devices that don't really do shit but just have a light bulb in them. Like, okay. But there's also a lot of opportunity for us to figure out what spectrums and wavelengths of light, one of the fundamental forces of our world, can be applied to the human body to change it, you know? Light and sunlight and being outdoors have dramatic impacts on our cognition, on the way that we think and feel and exist. But what effects they might have on our like skin health and like internal health and like how you're actually doing and your immune system and stuff. There's like a lot of research that we could probably do on that front, and probably won't do because research funding has been gutted across the board. Yay! But I think there's a lot of opportunity to learn from it, and probably the best thing to do in the absence of like really crystal clear research is to get plenty of natural sunlight while protecting your skin from the carcinogenic effects of excessive, direct, unmitigated UV radiation. Yeah? But maybe spend some time outside if you're feeling sick. Might actually help. Anyway, I had to bring that up. We had to talk about it because I remembered there being this like really compelling story and also being a little bit skeptical of the story, or at least of the conclusions that you could draw from the story. Like it definitely needs more pieces of evidence in order to make a lot of sense. But I would love to know. I know that there are a few doctors whose like core thing that they do now is just get people to go outside and like get hospital patients to be closer to the bed. I know that there was a study on hospital patients being closer to the window and them getting discharged earlier. Parallel bed placement to the window significantly reduced length of stay. So this is more like it. This is more the kind of stuff where we're moving away from anecdotes and we're dealing with the order of thousands of people, and we're checking them into the hospital and just determining whether being closer to the window or in a not in a windowless room has any effect on how long they stay in the hospital, right? So we're taking this one's an intensive care unit, a coronary intensive care unit. all the patients are being treated the same sorts of ways, and then we just are batching the patients and based on what kind of room they're in, whether it's got sunlight coming in. And the data, it's more than, with an average stay of around 3 days across all the categories, people with daylight and window views stayed closer to 2.8 days on average, and those without windows stayed closer to 3.5 on average. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's like 20% plus reduction in. Oh wait, am I getting it wrong? 0.7 out of 0.3 out of 3. Yeah, 23% or so reduction in stay, which means more patients in the hospital and out, right? More patients treated. Oh, okay. Is there more on this? I'm going down a rabbit hole. Oh, whoa. Okay, I've got a 2018 retrospective that looks at database information between 1998 and 2013, and this time we're talking about 38,000 patients with a bed near the window and 46,000 patients with a bed near the door. Oh my gosh. The ones exposed to more light required like 20% less painkillers. A total less distress and pains were reported. A total of like an estimated 20% savings in treatment costs across the board before even factoring in length of stay changes. There's evidence of increased post-surgery mortality rates for patients in rooms without windows. Okay, there's enough to produce like a cloud of disconnected evidence that all points in a direction for me that getting more sunlight if you're sick is a really fucking good idea. How that could be like optimized and how we can like hone in on mechanisms and particular types of diseases or illnesses or injuries or things that are best helped by that. I don't know. We've got the information and the studies seem way too broad, and I'm not confident in my own ability to put on the like I'm gonna investigate the literature really effectively and be a science guy today type of hat. I would really love for one of the one of the sort of science tubers like Hank Green or the how town type people to go in on this and do some real investigation on pulling together the various research that points toward, I don't know, this and other ways of increasing health outcomes. Okay. Weird rabbit hole to dive down into. Thanks for bearing with me for it. I hope that you found it valuable and interesting. Just from here to here. And it's like, I mean, what a heroic effort. It's only this far, but that distance is forever. It's like forever. Stand. We'll help you. And there's this tension, this resistance in him. Like he knows that she's gonna die, but like to move her, to maybe cause more suffering, so Maharu puts out this boundary. If you can't let us do this, I'm not gonna do it. You want her to die peacefully, you let us bring her into the sun. It's powerful. And he acquiesces. Gently now, gently. The care that he shows for her all throughout is just incredible. I need to get you into her line of sight because she won't be able to hear for a moment. Sure. Hi. Okay, and this moment, I think this is my favorite shot or moment in the episode. Sometimes people who don't internally have something to like take care of themselves for find somebody else to externalize that caretaking, and their whole being becomes about protecting, saving, helping, nurturing, whatever it is, the caretaking, the other person. And when that other person isn't in the picture, you're just left with your own reflection in the darkness. And that's maybe not somebody that you want to look at very much. It can be much easier to not have compassion for yourself and to exist in a place of just compassion for others. It's another form of divesting power, control, and importance from yourself in order to put it on others. But it gives you a type of control too. Maybe a control over your emotions, maybe a control over your shattered sense of self. But he turns off the screen and is left in darkness, and it's like turning off his connection to her for a moment. And it foreshadows what will happen when the connection to her is actually gone. A blank screen that doesn't have a purpose anymore. I think that's how he sees himself, maybe. So we do it, and her fucking tube gets pulled. And Baka! And it's the first, like, really emotive, oh, fuck! But it's connection to him. Like, Usami seems less inhuman now. He seems more like a father. We get this anchor, this emotional anchor of Kiruko, sort of like softly smiling as well. But even here, there's such somberness and such grief in the smile. Like, we know what we're doing today is killing a little girl, right? Like, we're not having a fun day here. We can sort of smile softly, but it's a grim smile. We smile softly at these last interactions between these people who clearly love each other. Crows. Carrion. Not vultures, but carrion birds. I've been waiting. Let's go. Let's do it. Nope. Thunk. Stab. Slash. I wonder why. Now, partly it's to set the scene, set the stage, right? Like, this is the level that we're at, and it works. Like, we turn our attention immediately to everybody else, and they rally around this idea because they don't have a choice. They have to justify it. They have to reconcile it. They have to rally around this idea to stay coherent. But I wonder why. I don't think that this guy knows much that could be used to, like, fuck up your boy's agenda. But maybe he knows more. Maybe because of the way that he brought Maru and people in, he's in the way somehow. I really like her weapons and her whole attack scene. She's terrifying. Yeah, wait, we had to do. Okay, so everybody looks, and then one guy goes, oh, and then your main guy goes, it's retribution for killing Miss Mizuhashi. We get everybody, and then this guy goes, yeah, it had to be this way. Yeah, gotta do what must be done. And everybody rallies around it, and everybody's sort of fear and angst turns into forward momentum. For the cult leader guy, this is perfect. This is exactly what he wants. Oh, that guy, he's just got a fork. God damn, dude. You're just gonna kill people with a fork? God damn, dude. Armed to the teeth. Weren't they saying violence was wrong? Yeah, but now they get what they want out of the violence. Those who can move help the wounded. We do get her little... I was so scared that we were gonna do a, like, oh, little girl goes back and gets stabbed by fork guy. Terrible. As all that's happening, we turn here. I want to hear this. Silence. Open air. And the breath. Okay, this is what I meant when I said, like, the shots of the buildings have impressions to them. Like, we're still closed in a little bit by these lines, but with the slight fisheye curve on them, it doesn't feel like a trap anymore. It feels like she can really look up. We can hear them getting rowdy. Leave them be. And then as we move forward, we pull the buildings away. We're focused in on just the sky. And then she looks over at him, closes her eye and blinks. He knows, he nods. This time Maru can meet her gaze, can actually look at her. I really like this frame as well. And I don't know why. Again, these are messages in a language that doesn't convert to words. If it converted to words easily, we wouldn't need the pictures. So he dives in, and we get another distinct, different looking visual for how that looks. There's like a whippy aspect to it that almost makes me wonder if the person who did Kiruko's hair whipping in the OP, and also some of the mostly that, if they were responsible for this. I don't know. I also really like the way his skin sort of glitches. It just creates a really cool impression, a really cool space. He grasps her core. She looks up, and she's looking at him through his own eye. Crush. The blood, the red goo drips down and drips off of his arm and forms a new core almost, and fades away. And in those last moments, she was writing something. It might have just been easier to let her turn into a monster, but I made her suffer all this time. No. We have a message. Please look at this. And all his fears get allayed by this. It's like it's her last gift. Last thing she could possibly give is to assuage his conscience. Thank you for letting me die as a human. Thank you for giving me your eye. That's the shit as a reveal. That's the shit. Top titty. Peak. Fucking peak. You know, I mean, there are a couple of Chekhov's situations throughout the course of this. Like the handgun that he brings in the first time he comes and meets them. Oh shit. How did they give me the impression that he wanted to die? Holy shit. I was talking about like inferring stuff earlier, what was conveyed. But when I first met him and he says, there's somebody I want you to kill, my first line out of my mouth was myself. Kill me. It's me. I need to die. Dr. Usami is the one who wants to die. He's got nothing to live for. How the fuck did they convey that in his manner? In the like 30 seconds in episode 7 that we saw him. Whoa. But the biggest is that he's missing an eye, and there's no knowledge of why. Now we know. Whoa. Thank you for everything. I love you. He weeps. He's been so stoic and so solid. The suit, the tie, the rigid demeanor, the slight bow, the careful speech. And it all melts away in this grief. And it's a beautiful shot. And now we're looking up again. And again, there's a different angle, and this is a different symbol. This says something else as the clouds roll by. We need to regain power, or... No, she died a natural death. Maru doesn't believe that. He thinks he killed her. I'll follow with the guards. This all happened because I killed the monsters. It doesn't matter. It was all for her, and it's no longer necessary. And in a different frame, he's speaking of himself, too. I'm here for her. I'm no longer necessary. But there's so much that he could do. He just doesn't have the heart to, does he? He was here for her. A lot of people want to be treated by you. And he stops at the line. It was just us. I made him a hand on a whim, but more people arrived. But he didn't do it for himself. He was doing it because it made her happy. That's why I did it. That's why. And he steps into the darkness. I'm no doctor. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Kaiki Deshu has some things to say to you. Coming straight out of Nisa Monogatari. Dr. Usami Sensei. He's not a doctor. But he is a sensei. And he is a doctor. He's the fake that's more real than the real. I wonder how that will characterize and change our impression of the other doctors that we meet. Seems important. Oh, my little castle at the end of the world. We can build a city here. A brand new culture. Time to cast off our white sheep coats and reveal the scavenging crows underneath. All we need now is unified order and leadership. The end of childish factions. Factions. Oh man, I have found the secret to world peace, and it's kill every motherfucker but me. Thank you, Aesop. But under the surface, there's a little bug. It's a bug boy. And also, Jesus Christ, it looks terrifying. It's got 2 square boys. Ugh. So we go and we look for them, and we find a lead on Robin. Ain't that Dr. Inazaki? 2 years ago, he vanished into thin air. He had surgical knowledge, said he wasn't gonna let anyone else die. Huh. What's Robin been doing? It's definitely him. I have to see you. I want to see you. So what are we gonna do? Bring up Robin. Sure is taking a long time. He's got the symbol in a button on his hand. This goddamn scene, it feels like Nanami. Like on that level. Fuck, man. His eye, her eye. A little kiss on the forehead. And fucking gunshot birds. Hey, you know what gunshot birds is for? It's so that we don't show the dead person on screen. Oh, wait, fuck. Not used to seeing that. You. Damn it. And Maru. I'm the total opposite of Usami and Robin. My hands are only for killing. I just destroy. And Kiriko goes over to regulate with him to try to like, no, don't ever say that. But she doesn't have like a great counter, you know? It's that when you're killing Hiruko, you're really saving people. You're really saving everybody. You are. But what if that's not true? What if it's more complicated than that? What if they are people? I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to make choices. It's hard to make choices in the world when all you have to go off is the information that you've been given. And you know that it could be twisted or wrong or lies or false. It's hard. But Maru comes out of it thinking that he might have been doing the right thing. But they thought they were doing the right thing when they came in. They thought they were doing the right thing when they killed Hoshino. And you come out of it and it's like, what does that even mean to try to do the right thing? Don't you dare say that. Don't you dare. She grips his hands, but... Fuck, man. The lights come on, the lights go out. The world has changed. And a candle is blown out. And it's beautiful. I mean, wow. Beautiful candle. Their choices. We open in absolute darkness. In a dream. With strange, mystical, misty darkness pulling in from the sides. A pair of shoes. A character. Bright. Big hand. But who? Well, you came. It's not so scary, not with you. And then a happy, happy dream. I wonder if it's Bowl Cut Boy in the dream, or if it's fucking Dr. Usami. Huh? Or maybe... What? Huh? I don't think it can be Dr. Usami. I think it has to be Bowl Cut Boy. Or maybe it's Drawing Boy? I don't know. I'm gonna pull up Sakagaburu. There are a couple of cuts in this episode that I'd really like to see. The crying Dr. Usami. The couple of the fatal dives. Bing, 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 bing. Okay. Our characters do be acting. It's nice, it's subtle, it's cute. Did I order these by score? Yeah, I did. Okay. Oh, okay. I know what happened. God fucking damn it. The emotions, and then grabbing and coming to the ground together. That's lovely. Here's that weep. Oh, this is Sawada. Oh, okay, that makes sense. It feels like it's Sawada. Like, let's go find another Sawada crying. Oh. It's the other crying. So this is Enomoto's Ganga on that portion. And there's the crying. Doesn't feel exactly like what I was looking for, but that's okay. Next, oh, this one's Enomoto. So it's Enomoto doing this first fatal dive. Cool. It's gorgeous. And the second one, I'm guessing, will also be Enomoto. Yep. Wow, and all of the liquid, too. What an effort. And Kanaito for the final sequence, with all the distinct shadows and the sunlit hues, the really subtle movements. And then, ding. Where have I seen you? Boruto, JJK, S2, Haikyuu 4, Wonder Egg Priority, Vinland Saga. Oh, Vinland Saga. I just saw Great Pretender as well. I'm gonna grab that. Okay, let me look at these. This is Hiramatsu Shu and Kanaito. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, this really distinct sequence. The shadows. Shadows again. And the subtle camera movement. The woof. Yeah, whoa, okay. Nice. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, wow, okay. Oh! Again, Enomoto and Ito for this really distinct sequence here that we saw very, very recently in Dandadan. Wow, okay. Oh, whoa! The start of Vinland Saga. Yeah, freaking cool. Wow, Kana Ito's got so many, like, styles. I remember this cut. I remember going and looking at this cut on Sakagaburu. So many interesting styles. And then the capacity to do this really, like, picturesque, filmic, distinctive, it feels like a lot of elements of like the Chainsaw Man movie, where things are like very much trying to be on film. The way that light is captured, the way that our depth of field is so narrow, right? Like his eye patch is out of focus, right? His eye is crystal clear in focus. Yeah? Like the camera is getting played with so much over the course of this to make it so crisp and so smooth and so somber and so steeped in emotion. It's really, really spectacular, isn't it? But it also, we went through a bunch of Kana Ito's work and we found a bunch of awesome animation and no examples of exactly the same kind of stuff. What we found was like 4 different styles. See, that's closer, but it's not actually Kana Ito. This one is. Huh. Huh. Like a lot of it is just like a really capable animator, and then there's some distinctive pieces in the shadows and some of the movement ideas. Very cool. I love discovering, like rediscovering a cool animator and just continuously being in awe of how many talented people come together to make these incredibly awesome works of art that we get to witness and experience and interact with and engage with and talk about. And then those works of art do crazy shit like the story that we just experienced, which was wild. I'm glad. I'm glad to have concluded it. I'm really sad about the way that it concluded, but I don't know that it could have gone differently, given the information that we had at each point, at every stage going in. I think Maru and Kiruko did their best to try to act well and in accordance with their own beliefs in a world that's willing to manipulate and lie to them. It sucks to be used. It sucks to become a means to somebody else's end, especially when you've been lied to and you didn't consent to being a part of that in that way. It sucks to be lied to and betrayed like that. I wonder if they're going to need to feel the need to do something about it rather than just move on forward. We'll find out next time on Heavenly Delusion. Thanks so much for joining me this week for these 2 episodes, sort of day to day, back to back. I hope you've enjoyed them, and I hope that you'll forgive me for changing the schedule up. Thanks for joining me for more Heavenly Delusion. I really enjoyed this one. As much as you can enjoy something that's traumatic and very sad. It's powerful, though. And engaging with powerful things kind of makes life feel worth living. It gives it valence, even if it's negative valence. It's cool. Okay, I'll see you next week. Much love. Peace.